I think the globe, if we focus strictly on the United States is there's a generation, right? So there's a 10-year age gap. Your brother's 7 years older than you, so we're kind of similar, right? But that's a drastic age gap in this time period.
Yeah.
Because of the technology that is at our fingertips. Today's video is brought to you by CDA Roofing. Have you ever tried to fix your roof? Well, my wife and I have. The saying it takes an expert is not an understatement. CDA Roofing is licensed and insured. They have combined business experience of 60 plus years and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. CDA Roofing has successfully waterproofed residential and commercial buildings spanning Maine to Florida. Whether it's re-roofing, metal, asphalt, rubber, flat waterproofing, or asphalt shingle repair, CDA Roofing has you covered. By the way, CDA Roofing can also handle all of your siding, gutters, windows, doors, decks, and general repair needs. CDA Roofing is an industry leader operating throughout New England. They have locations in Agawam, Massachusetts, and Simsbury, Connecticut. Their phone number is 413-786-4081. All around, the company is managed by experienced professionals, and they care deeply about your property. Give them a call today for a free estimate.
My two things with Greenville, when anyone's like sitting at the bar and they're asking, that's what I say. I'm like, okay, not enough live music, and you're going to have to drive.
Yeah.
But I don't mind either of those. But yeah, like a little slice of Nashville or New Orleans would be really cool. Like it just, I think honestly, just like a dedicated like performance venue, like nothing to the scale of it, but like a Red Rocks, but for Greenville, like just like a place where there's like an amphitheater.
Yeah,
would be really awesome.
That would be neat.
And then like you can have, because there are things like that like kind of spread out around here, but you usually have to drive like 45 minutes to or more to go see like big shows like that. Like sometimes we have the big concerts at the Well, but the Bon Secours Wellness Arena, which is our big I guess venue, but it's not all music. It's like a lot of like sometimes they have Monster Jam in there.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedians like Adam Sandler was there last year, sold out the entire thing. But yeah, it's a cool little spot. But just like one dedicated spot just for like live music would be awesome.
Now you're going to see a performance tonight.
I am.
Who are you going to see again?
I'm going to go see Pete Davidson, dude.
Pete Davidson.
I'm hoping he does more than the SNL sketch. Just the okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'd still crack up, but
I'm sure he's going to have a game plan tonight. That's going to be great.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited. A friend of mine and I are going. I'm trying to show up. I'm trying to get good seats. VIP, like I have someone that works there.
Yeah.
And they texted me and said, hey, keep an eye out. They're going to add another show for Thursday. I was like, okay. So I was just like every 15 minutes refreshing that website. And in the middle of dinner service, I only had 2 bar guests. I apologize to them if they ever see this. But for 5-6 minutes, I completely neglected them when they were done with their food, just refreshing. It popped up, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting these tickets right now. Yeah. Went to hit VIP, said sold out. I was like, oh my God. It was like a snap of the fingers. Oh. I got the last 2 like general admission tickets by the skin of my teeth.
Wow.
I think they gotta think I'm crazy. I finished it. I just went, yes! I turned around and said, I am so sorry for neglecting you guys. Okay, but I just got my tickets. Like the old guy was super cool. He was super friendly. He was like, oh no, you're good, ma'am. You're good. She's in the bathroom. I gotta wait on her anyway.
And I think that's what's so pleasant about being down in this area is like the simple things are so rewarding. You know, and like you just explained how you were fighting to get these tickets. Unfortunately, you get the VIP ones. You got general admission. Mm-hmm. But you're so stoked on that,
dude. Yeah,
and you're gonna have a blast with some good people. You know, and I think that's like the dynamics of this country from just, the north to the west. Like, it's so interesting. And it's like, what's the right word? Like peaceful to know that you come down in this direction and there's some sort of civility, genuineness. People just are literally happy about the simple things. And I think we've moved so far away from that. The lag time you discussed earlier in this conversation of when you got the digital converter with your grandfather.
Yeah.
to maybe where New England was with their technology, to maybe where the West Coast was with their technology, right, at that time, and some of these other major cities.
Right.
And it's like, man, has technology really, I mean, this is great. Technology is allowing us to do this.
Right, right.
But has technology sincerely made us happier? And this is conversations that are taking place on so many levels.
Oh, yeah.
But the main thing here in South Carolina so far that we've noticed is people are genuinely happier.
Yeah. I haven't done, I'm not as nearly as well traveled. I've been to different places. But and experienced, I've only experienced like culture, like after being 21, I've only visited a few places where like big cities and stuff. But I do catch that vibe. It's just like, I would say surface level it appears to be. And you know, a lot of people are genuinely more happy around here. Because like a lot of people haven't left, so it's all close knit. Yeah. People are moving here. People aren't moving away from here, for the most part, because everything's, you know, property's a lot more affordable here.
Yeah.
And then when you're making minimum wage here, or you're, you know, making your money here, and you go somewhere where everything's way more expensive, it's not super feasible. But yeah, on to the digital thing, like whether it's making us happier, I'm going to say some of it is, like, you know, like some technologies, like making quality of life a lot easier. But then you get into like social media and stuff, it's like, I think that's overall just making people a lot more disconnected face to face, and a lot more conscientious of people's opinions that don't matter. I mean, me personally, I haven't touched it since 2017. Like I'll hop on and see which one of my high school friends are getting married or pregnant. Just like, oh, another one bites the dust. But that's about all I use it for. Like, you can follow me. You're gonna see a lot of baby Jordan on there. I'm telling you that much, dude.
That's great.
I think my last picture on there was me like touring my college, just like a little tiny little Jufro, just looking goofy, no facial hair.
That's fantastic. No, and so I think that's, you know, this quality of life, this craziness that's kind of risen over the past sort of, really you could argue the mid to late 2000s, maybe even, you know, 8 or so years ago. And where do people go to basically disconnect from all of that, right? They just want to live a normal life. Mm-hmm. They just want to enjoy people's company. They want to work, but they don't want to work to the point where work is their life, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain...
They don't want to get worked to the bone.
Exactly, right? There's got to be a balance between dedication towards your craft, which clearly, I mean, if it's not obvious, we're very dedicated to our craft, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we enjoy what we do. But there's also the point where, you know, life isn't black and white all the time. Mm-mm. And you almost have to be this fluid that flows through the pillars of life. Otherwise, if you are the pillar, you're going to get knocked over in time.
Yeah.
Right? And like...
And until then, everything's passing you by anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, not to say that there needs to be some function, there needs to be some structure.
Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of left and right lateral limits and boundaries, right? Maybe you know, natural boundaries, you know, not man-made.
right.
But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is, in this area so far, the small things, man. Like, you can make a very healthy living as a bartender down here.
Yeah.
And have a very enjoyable life down here. You try and do that in some of the major cities in the United States, and it's like, you're really not having quality of life, you know?
Right. You're suffering for less. You're suffering to pay more money for bills, and you're not able to put enough back, and you're just gonna burn yourself out within, 3 or 4 years of doing that. That's important anywhere. It's like it's like also finding, like you said, those natural boundaries, like knowing that if you're not happy at a place, don't keep giving them your time. Find something else, because that was a mistake I made early on, because I was like, okay, well, I feel like I need to be loyal to this place, but they were not providing anything for me. And it was just like I was a cog in the machine at that point, and then I found the next thing, and it ended up, I was like, I did not realize I could enjoy working like this.
Yeah.
And I've always had a hard work ethic. You know, grandpa and grandma put that into me. So I never minded working, but I hated it for a while. It was like, I go in there, I need to make my money. I don't mind going the extra mile, but now that I'm doing it for people that give a rip, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Like that, it's going to take a lot longer to burn out in that aspect.
Yeah, it's so powerful. I'm just, you know, I think the globe, if we focus strictly on the United States is there's a generation, because do you mind if I say your age?
Yeah, go ahead.
25, right?
25.
So, I'll be 35 here in a month, right? So there's a 10-year age gap. Your brother's 7 years older than you, so we're kind of similar, right? But that's a drastic age gap in this time period.
Yeah.
Because of the technology that is at our fingertips.
Because we've advanced in the last 10 years. It's just leaps and bounds from where we were in 2014.
And it's insane.
Yeah.
So, the conversations maybe your grandfather, your great grandmother, you may have back then, things moved, they progressed, but it took a decade or more to really make a significant change.
Right.
Whereas today we're making changes in, you could argue, weeks, days.
I mean, we have access to basically infinite information. It's like, in my great-grandma or my grandfather's day, it's like, okay, something happened anywhere else on the planet, or even 10 miles down the road, you're not ever going to know about it. You're focused on what you're doing in your life and your family. And now we have access to everything all at once. And that's why I think changes come at such a rapid pace now, is because there's so much more to think about. Like, there's so much more, like, people have a lot more, like, overall conceptions of how things should be.
Yeah.
And I mean, technology itself is evolving faster than I can keep track of it. And I mean, I like to read like articles and stuff on it. But it's like, by the time I finish reading that one, and like Type 2 just came out, and with all these new features, it's like, okay.
Oh, and by the way, Type 2 is now building Type 3 on its own.
Right. Building it on its own.
Holy moly's, right? And who knows what this next literally 50 to 100 years is going to bring. Speaking
of things building by itself, the BMW factory right here, they unveiled like their AI. I think it's called A1, their AI robot, and they're testing it in the factory right now, building moving materials and stuff. And I watched a video on that, and it's crazy, because I was like, okay, I've got 5 or 10 years before this happens, and now it's working next door to me. Like, it's crazy.
I know, man. It's just wild to think through some of this stuff. Hey, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share.